Hey everybody, it's Dave Soleil from the Sudbury School of Atlanta. Today we're talking about preparing for colleges and jobs. Now, we know from past videos that our education system from 150 years ago looks exactly the same today as it did back then. Our education system has not gone through a paradigm shift. And the reason why, it was designed by this guy, the King of Prussia, and brought over to America by Horace Mann to prepare students for jobs in factories 150 years ago during the Second Industrial Revolution. It's just simply no longer relevant to our living today and what challenges students are facing. So the jobs today, they're in modern offices, in modern hospitals, with modern companies, with modern technology. The old model is just simply not relevant anymore. So it begs the question, which would you choose? Why are we using the technology of education from 150 years ago when we really need the updated iPhone of education of today? And so we're going to look at what do colleges and employers want today from students, and how does the Sudbury School of Atlanta fit into that new paradigm. So let's start with the outcomes. Here is what we want from students at the Sudbury School of Atlanta. Here's what we want them to walk out with. We want students who are excited about learning. We want students who know how to learn and are independent thinkers. We want good decision makers, good communicators, and lifelong learners. You remember from the first video on Shift Your Paradigm that we don't want everyone to fit into the same mold. We don't want a field of sunflowers. We want to cultivate a field of wildflowers where every flower is unique and every flower is different. So we start with these outcomes and we design our school accordingly. Lydia Soleil, who is one of the founders of the Sudbury School of Atlanta, she's also the current director of the Center for Teaching Excellence at Georgia Gwinnett College. She spent her whole career at Centers for Teaching and Learning at major universities, Georgia Tech, University of California, Irvine. And here's what Dr. Soleil says. She says, based on my career of researching and practicing effective teaching and learning in the field of higher education, I have concluded that the Georgia performance standards and traditional K-12 education simply do not prepare students for college or jobs. Period. It's simple. The current system doesn't prepare our students. Here are frequent faculty complaints that Dr. Soleil talks about regarding students, that students are not creative, they're not independent thinkers, and that they're only worried about grades and rewards and punishments. They're not motivated or passionate, and they don't know how to learn or study or research. They have poor communication skills and poor information literacy. Now, you remember with our outcomes, we want independent thinkers. We want students who have good communication skills and that students who are motivated and know how to learn, right? These things are not present in students now because they're not taught in current K-12. So let's look at what the universities do want. Look at the honors program at the University of Georgia. Here's their first question. It starts with a quote, "It is better to understand a little than to misunderstand a lot. Taking into considerations all aspects of the University of Georgia and resources available through participation in the honors program, what will you seek to better understand?" Right? This is about independent thinking. This is about good communication. This is not their first question. It's not, what is your GPA? It's not, what did you get on the SAT? They want independent thinkers. They want good communicators. Let's look at another one. Let's look at the Georgia Tech Honors Program. They say, we take note of GPA and SAT scores, of course, but we don't do our selection process simply by the numbers. Strict numerical measures don't make meaningful distinctions among outstanding students. Then they go on to say, we mean to be clear on one important point. The honors program does not select students based solely on academic achievement. They go on to say, in short, we look for students who seem to take an active approach to learning, who seem willing to take ownership of one's education and make the most of their Georgia Tech experience. active approach to learning, willing to take ownership of one's education. These are the things that we are developing at the Sudbury School of Atlanta. Let's take one more. Marilyn McGrath, the director of admissions at Harvard, says, "In the end, we ask the same questions of all. How unusual is she in her accomplishments, her ambition, her capacity to overcome whatever life might have thrown her way, and how would she stand out and contribute here?" They are looking for the wildflowers in education. They are not looking for the students who all fit into the same mold. So what do employers want? In 2011, there was a study from the Accrediting Council for Independent Colleges and Schools. They identified the top 10 skills desired by employers across sectors, and here they are. Interpersonal skills, teamwork, and problem solving, 1, 2, and 3. We don't say, what's your GPA? It's not, how did you do on a standardized test? It's interpersonal skills, teamwork, and problem solving. They go on, job-specific knowledge, written communication skills, work experience, technical ability, education, finally, personal references, and business savvy. And education is down at number 8. Why? Because our schools don't teach what employers need. Why? Because our education system was developed by the King of Prussia and brought to America for factory jobs in the mid-1800s. It's simply no longer relevant. So we start with the outcomes. We want the students who are excited about learning, independent thinkers, good decision makers, good communicators, lifelong learners. That's what we want from students. That's what colleges want from students. That's what employers want from students. So it's time to shift your paradigm. Upgrade your K-12 to the iPhone of education, and we invite you to join us at the Sudbury School of Atlanta.